Trousers that were too tight or not too tight for a parliamentary session is an issue that has caused an uproar in Tanzania this week. The Africa NGO says it is appalled by the behavior and action of a male MP who alleged a female colleague was ridiculing the parliament because of what she was wearing. Condester Sichwale, the female lawmaker, was expelled from the parliament this week for her inappropriate clothing. She was forced to change her outfit in order to be allowed back in. Hussein Amar, the male MP who raised the issue, argued that the parliament was a reflection of society, referring to some regulations of the parliament's rules forbidding female legislators from wearing tight jeans. Speaker John Dungai instructed Condester to go change then return, quoting the parliamentary rules which allow women to wear trousers, but the clothes should not be tight-fitting. He also ordered chamber orderlies to refuse access to anyone who was dressed inappropriately.
From now on, any MP who doesn't dress appropriately should not be allowed. They'll be asked to go and change. This isn't the first complaint that we have received. Some are adults, so I don't know what they are looking for when they dress up like this. Let's try to abide by our regulations, please. Looking at our rules and traditions, women need to abide even more.
As one of the country's biggest women's rights NGOs, WildF is looking to take legal action against Mr. Amar to help protect female leaders in the future. Fellow members of Parliament Stella Manyanya and Jacqueline Gonyani have branded the event as discriminatory and unfair. This is not the first incident of this nature. In 2018, the Speaker of Tanzania's National Assembly, Job Ndugai, banned women MPs with false eyelashes and false fingernails from entering the Parliament. Daniel Kijo, SABC, Dar es Salaam.
Incredible. I actually am at a loss for words. But to further discuss the current politics of Tanzania, we're now joined by Neville Meena, who's the Secretary of the Tanzanian Editors Forum. He's in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Neville, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Always good to talk to you.
Thank you.
I want to start with that story of that parliamentarian who was told to go home and change because she was wearing skin-tight jeans. So the question is what's happening in Parliament a reflection of a conservative country, Tanzania? Is that an issue for Tanzanians in general, what women wear?
Yeah, it might be so, because the parliamentary standing order on how the parliamentarians should clothe, it has been there for so long. I've been a parliamentary reporter, I think, for more than 15 years, and the standing orders are there directing how both women and men MPs should wear, and that the one who go contrary to the standing order should not be allowed to enter the parliament. But the rule is not of draconian kind of, but sometimes it depends on if an MP raise such a kind of an issue in the parliament, and they can alert the speaker, saying that so and so is wearing wearing something which is not allowed according to the standing orders. And now, from there, the speaker can take an action of sending a particular member of parliament to go and change the clothing. And it has not happened once. I remember sometimes even the men member of parliaments were sent out of the parliament after wearing such kind of a mixed clothing, because they did wear what was not allowed in the parliament. So it has been there, although it this time around has come with a kind of with a lot of noises, especially from the people who look at it as from gender perspective.
But this is 2021, Neville. I mean, what you're describing is an era with Kamuzu Banda in Malawi where women weren't even allowed to wear trousers. This is what it sounds like. Who decides what is appropriate clothing for women in Parliament?
Women are allowed to wear trousers in Tanzania and even in the parliament. But the standing orders are very clear, describing how both men and the women members of parliament should wear. And they say that because the parliament is where the parliamentarians sit to present their voters, they should look credible in the light of what they wear. Because in Tanzania we still have this kind of culture where women are not allowed to wear something which actually exposes some of their what we call leaving some of the part of the body without covered, and tightening trousers has been condemned, or not officially, but even the society is condemning that women should not wear such kind of clothes. Although in the street of Dar es Salaam and the other big town and other cities in Tanzania, you can see women wearing such kind of clothes.
All right. I mean, it does sound to me like a colonial hangover that Africans are still grappling with at the moment. But let's move on to the constitution and the opposition party. Why are they crying for a new constitution? What's wrong with the current one?
The complaint has been there for so long that the current constitution is not democratic. Our institutions are not protected, and that's why when you have we have a dictatorship kind of regime, you have like the former president, he could done anything without any limit, and whatever is said by the president in Tanzania seemed to be the law of the land. So that's why the former president decided that political activity should not be allowed against the constitution, against the laws of the land. But nobody could done anything to stop him doing so. So the current constitution does not stand for our strong institutions. So we don't have a free and fair election bodies here, because all the officials in the electoral commission are appointed by the president, and the president is from the ruling party. So now we don't have a system in place where our institutions are free and credible to perform their noble duties meant for their constitutions.
And it sounds as if that in Samia Suluhu Hassan, they have somebody who's willing to listen to try and build a new Tanzania.
Yes, but no, the constitutional matter is not Samia's issue. We have Samia as a president, and from her own perspective, she might be ready to take that function. But now there is other like the other issues, like her party, Chama cha Mapinduzi. The question remains: are Chama cha Mapinduzi fathers and mothers ready to take that challenge of allowing a process of a new constitution in the country? The question might be no, because we still have conservative people in the party who still believe that being opposition is a crime or is a sin. So it might take long or longer for Samia to convince her colleagues in Chama cha Mapinduzi to endorse that idea of having a new constitution in place.
How close are the opposition in terms of closing the gap, in terms of numbers at the electoral processes?
In terms of, but the problem, the challenge is our background. We have supporters who sometimes cannot come out and demand their rights. That's why you can see things going as they are right now.
right. We are struggling to keep a hold of that line there. Just connection issues, but I think we got the gist of what's happening. Opposition parties concerned about the current constitution favouring the incumbent president, and it appears as if that the past president used his powers to the full extent. All right, I believe that Neville is back online. Neville, thanks very much indeed. We were struggling to hear you just a short while ago. The question was, does the opposition have enough support perhaps to force a referendum on whether there should be a constitutional change or not?
I know. That's why you could hear Mbowe saying that the opposition leader Chadema, Freeman Mbowe, saying that they are opting for consultation rather than confrontation, because they know that their supporters, yes, they have so many supporters, but our society as it is, people are not courageous enough to go on the street and demand anything like a new constitution. So we might have political party leaders demanding or leaning that cause, but their supporters are naive when it comes to that. They cannot afford to go on the street and demand for that. They cannot sustain. They cannot sustain such kind of demands. So yes, I can see that opposition parties like Chadema must put more struggle to make that happen.
All right, Neville, it's always good talking to you. Thank you so much indeed for your insights, and make sure your friends wear the right type of jeans when they go to town.
Okay, thank you a lot. And, it's been really nice to be with you too today. Thank you for connecting with us in Tanzania. Here we are, and the things I can say we are in a very smooth ride rather than it used to be before.
Great, thank you so much. That's Neville Meena, who's the Secretary of the Tanzanian Editors Forum. Can you believe it? Thrown out of Parliament for wearing jeans that one gentleman in Parliament decided were just too tight. Yeah, we'll be back.